I don't know if I want that Maybach. I don't know if I'll find my way back. I think of two things: fear and success. And putting those two things together, I think of the fear of success. But I'll even start with just the idea of fear here, because I think in many instances, when you're tackling a new opportunity, there's usually either a fear of failure or a fear of success. And I think in this particular instance of, I don't know if I want that Maybach, that's a fear of success. And many times people may even look at that as like a flex of like, oh, how are you so confident that you're going to succeed? You haven't even done it yet. But I think it's one of those fears that really like kind of is underrepresented. And like a lot of times it's kind of like, oh, that's a good thing. You like success is good. Why would you fear success? And I just look at it like no matter what you do, if you have a fear, rather it be fear of success or fear of failure, which is a whole other can of worms, which many people would say is a bit more valid, quote unquote, just because it feels familiar to people. Like we've all, in a sense, have failed and we will continue to fail. Some people may not be so familiar with what success feels like, or when they've experienced it, it wasn't good enough, or it didn't necessarily have such as high of an impact as the fear of failure has. So it kind of gets swept under the rug. But I think the idea of not knowing if you want that Maybach, which you could really just swap out the word Maybach for the word money or whatever you consider to be of high value, luxury, you can really look at that quote and say to yourself, that is actually a valid point. I don't know if I want that Maybach. And the reason why I started to look at this quote, and like if you really listen to the song, you'll be like, all right, how did you even, this is not even a deep song. How did you come to this conclusion? Like, listen to the rest of the song if you need to like kind of have some context on what I'm talking about. But it's the second part that really kind of sells the first part for me. It's like, I don't know if I'll find my way back. And I think that goes back to the idea of success or money changing who you are, changing who your current self is, and losing, I guess, touch with your current reality, which can be scary and have fear attached to it. And I think the quote that kind of comes to my head when I think of that is, money makes you 10 times more of the person you really are. I don't know if that's the exact quote, but that comes to mind when I heard that. And I'm just like, it really is one of those things where it's like both parts of this lyric is really just spilling out the idea of fear in all opportunities and new things that we tackle. Because regardless if you're fearful or excited, it's like you don't know what's gonna happen on the other side of that obstacle that you're trying to get over. So it's like the takeaway I get from this is you just have to do it. You won't know. You won't know if it's going to bring you success or failure. So you just have to do it. And I think that is really the only thing you can do in that situation to get over that unknown. Because I know for a fact that if you get success, I'm sure there will be way more benefits and good feelings and all those things that come with it. But at the same time, there's trade-offs. But I'm of the opinion now, like, you have to just do it to know. And if you don't do it, you'll never know. And not knowing is living in a fairy tale world, because anything that you don't do is unreal in your mind until you take action on it. So my advice to us is, let's do it.